Joining us on the line are members of the band Losing September. Welcome to the show.
No, thank you very much. We're honored to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you. You guys are the talent, not us. We're trying to promote you guys because you guys kick some serious butt. Now, we just heard Rise of the Loser. I mean, when you guys sent that in, I was like, man, these guys have this really unique thing going. Tell us a little bit about the style and the background of the band.
Well, it all kind of started a long time ago at Ball State University, where me and Nicholas Foreman, the guitarist and violinist, we met, and we were like the only metalheads in the classical department. We were both studying classical music. Because to study music at least Ball State University, you had to go into class. You had to learn from the foundation, the square roots of everything. You know, so classical was, you had to learn it. So as a vocal performance major, I had to sing opera. You know, and when I was in high school, I always thought I was a tenor because all the lead lines or those high tenor, range, but I learned, and through my professors and my vocal coach, that I was just a lyric baritone, and so I was always trying to create a voice that wasn't my own, and then just finally learning to accept my own voice and take it and further it. I really started to expand and grow as a vocalist as well as a musician. After graduating from college, me and Foreman just decided we're going to hit the road, and we just pretty much hit it full time. And along the way, we've acquired several different pirate associates, and but it's always kind of been the two of us just knocking it out and rolling it through it, kind of like a Simon and Garfunkel in a way,
And you guys been around a pretty long time, because I went back into your old videos. I was like, yeah, you guys been doing this a while.
Yeah, we've relentlessly toured for about 7 years strong, just constantly on the road in the underground scene. Just playing show to show just to survive, making sure you get the gas money to get to the next show, and the whole struggle and chaos of touring. We just pretty much set that after graduating. We just decided that we were gonna dedicate our lives to it. So. And we had toured relentlessly, and then since COVID's come up, we've spent a lot more time just prepping and getting ready for the studio and tracking a bunch of stuff. We've got so much stuff pre-tracked through preliminaries. We're just trying to put everything together and lay everything down and tighten it up through mastering and through different opinions of different production. So we're looking forward to it.
So when you guys write a song and take it to the studio, is it you who brings the things forward, maybe some lyrics, or how is a song produced by Losing September?
It always starts with an acoustic guitar, so it's normally or a piano, one of those two elements. Most of the time I'll come up with some type of riff, or I'll hear a melody in my head that I'll then put to paper. And I always write. A lot of lyricists and vocalists, a lot of times will just use different different poems that they've written. But I a lot of times write the lyrics after the music, so that making sure that the melody, if I'm going to write a great lyric, I'm going to want to use it on a great melody that people are going to remember. So if it's going to be a good hook, it better be a great lyric to go with that hook. Otherwise, you're wasting a good hook, or you're wasting a good lyric if you're using it in counterpart, in a different scenario, So
yeah,
a lot of times... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So a lot of times, it just starts with the acoustic guitar, coming up with the melody and a hook, and then gradually building that with Foreman, getting his take on it, our perception of it, and growing with whoever we're working with at the time, whatever producer it may be, or whatever guitarist or drummer at the time. So it's always been like a fluid experience, and but it always starts with the acoustic guitar, and then developing those elements. If we can play it acoustically and it sounds good, you have a foundation in something that the people are going to want potentially.
Getting back to your voice, what you were talking about earlier, it's very almost operatic. It gives your band a real distinct sound on top of the really Losing September feel you already have with the band, because you guys really are, in my opinion, really solidified around this sound. And is it based solely off of the vocals, or?
Well, I think that the foundation is always the hook. Whether that hook may be the vocals, whether it may be the lead guitar line, or a lot of times we use minimalistic concepts where you just take a simple concept and you reinvent it in different ways over and over again throughout the song, kind of like how Tool does. But so we do use mixed meter at times. I'm a big fan of that. But ultimately it comes down. A lot of our songwriting is based and determined on what the vocals are going to create. And me being the main songwriter, it makes sense, I guess, in that way, as the foundation of it. Trying to create based off of what the vocals are going to, be based off of, and what kind of feel you want. Everything should kind of follow that. So, just like how a bass should follow the kick drum, as vice versa. They're just a team and they collaborate. As the rhythm guitar should go with the vocals, as like an accompaniment instrument similar to a piano.
So, how did you come up with the name of the band, Losing September? I'm sure that's an interesting story.
Actually, I was a senior in high school when 9/11 happened, and that was kind of a huge change of event for our society, our culture. A lot of, it just changed the world in so many different ways. And it's kind of ironic because now we're kind of feeling those, a similar attack, just in a different manner now, as opposed to by force, it's through air, and through a virus, so it's just a weird world that we live in, and unfortunately humanity has moments of violence and greed. So, but it is what it is. Life is life. So, as Frank Sinatra says, that is life.
I love that song.
Life. Oh yeah.
When you are asked about your genre, there's little bit of metal, a little bit of like heavy alternative. What do you guys consider yourself?
Hard rock with a lot of metal influences. And we love to scream and we love the double bass, so there's no doubt about that. But ultimately, we're a rock band. We rock, and so that's our foundation, is in rock and roll. But we do a lot of screaming at times, but not all of our songs are that way. So some of our songs are almost, in a way, like our song "Idiot" is more of a pop punk rock song, but it has some of the most double bass in it out of all of our songs, so it always gets the mosh pit going, ironically, but it's got like that pop punk sound to it. And it was originally written to be a country song, so our producer just decided that it was too good of a hit, and he didn't want to miss out on using it at the time when we were doing our last album, Rise of the Loser.
Awesome. Now, your new track, Curse the Sky, you have a really cool video on that that I saw on your website. Tell us about that song.
Curse the Sky is actually a tribute to our lead guitarist, Nicholas Foreman, who is, by the way, it's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I will let him know, and I'm sure he's listening right now. He's just partaking in his own festivities at the moment. It's also his wife's birthday, too, and they've got two one-year-old twins that they've got to deal with on this fine occasion, too, for their first Halloween. So they got all kinds of chaos, happy birthday and Halloween festivities going on. So we would like to wish them a happy Halloween and a happy birthday to the Foreman family. And that Curse of Sky is actually a song he has. We found out that he has stage 4 lymphoma, and so it's pretty much it was kind of like an angry argument with God, So, and it's just been ever since the release of the song, it's kind of been like just like hell on earth in a way at times for our friends, our bandmates in Myanmar. A military coup came in come February, and my friend and dear brother Raymond Waimano of the band Idiots in Myanmar, during their revolution because they took democracy away from the military, came in, took the president that Obama, when he was in office 10 years ago, came in, created a democratic society for them. And the military in February came in and took all their president, all their leaders, ambassadors, and arrested them all. And they're still detained to this day. Some of them are dead, have been killed. So,
and you've got members there, right?
Correct, yes.
That's got to be hard for the band.
It's been a nightmare, so we lost our dear friend Raymond, but he's been a martyr and an amazing figure and a symbol of hope. He has become his own Buddha. He symbolizes freedom. So shout out to Raymond. May he rest in peace. But yeah, it's been very difficult, to say the least. We've collaborated with many of our bandmates and friends over there, and we're actually working on, due to technology and the advances that we have today, we're working on finishing this album up with a lot of their work on there. So this new album's got a lot of different fields, politically as well as personally, that we're working on. So we still haven't solidified exactly the name of it, but we got so much already created. It's just trying to figure out which songs are going to be the ones that are going to be the finals for each EP.
And that'll probably be expected sometime in 2022?
Yes.
No, that's with all the little turmoil there, that gives you guys a little something to look forward to. And so you're sharing files with your mates, and then they're like just recording their parts and sending them to you, right? That's what's happening?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. That's the miracle of modern technology. You could not have done that way back when I started this rock and roll dream.
No, we certainly could. I mean, it's crazy. I was lucky to our first recording. It was that we did, which we never published it or anything. It was just some lost stuff, but we did it on an analog reel, and it was cool to just be able to experience that. And at that time, it was dated, and that's why we got it for so cheap, because everything was digital, and every digital studio at the time was like thousands and thousands of dollars, and those guys that were still using analog were, they're like, well, I can do it for like 500, blah 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 blah, $400,
Right.
And they got these expensive equipment that costs even more than the digital stuff when they bought it, but now it's dated, so it is of not as much use. So it was cool to just see the science of analog, and then now obviously everything is digital, but so it's one way to appreciate it, how much simpler it has been. But analog was truly its own beast and its own monster, and it was beautiful to see like the sound engineers and producers, how they had to work, how they had to cut the file like a film, cinema reel, if they wanted to cut and edit something out, or they had to have everybody in the band holding the faders for the mastering, just old school stuff that digital automatically makes up the difference for. It's just, it was cool to have that experience.
I guess you would say that was a classical style of editing.
For sure. And it's a team effort then, because I know that when we did my albums, which are nowhere near as cool as Losing September's music, but when we did ours, there'd be 4 of us at the console working at the mixing board just to get that right mix down that you wanted for certain areas were too loud. Now you can just automate that, which is just, that's the benefit of digital technology.
Do you guys find yourself incorporating some of your classical knowledge that you went to school for into your music now?
Most certainly. Our lead guitarist, Nick Foreman, him being on violin, I play cello, and our counterpart guitarist Willie, who's currently working his way through, and he's in a safe territory right now, but he's currently safe, and he's tracking for our next album, preliminary tracks, and we hope to someday have him here with us in the studio in person, but he's the only way, because he speaks Burmese, the best way that we can communicate amongst each other was through musical notation, as well as text messaging and stuff. But music is the one true language that that is international. Anyone can speak music. For example, my sister is a high school and middle school music director, and she moved from the Midwest out to Las Vegas because there's so many people that are speaking Spanish over on the West Coast and in Nevada, that there's a demand for music teachers because it's the one class that all of the students can be in, because they can all understand the musical language better than they can understand English, or English people understanding Spanish, so. Yeah. But music is truly international, and that's the best way. That's how we can communicate with our bandmates the best. But now, we're learning Burmese as well as they know English pretty well. Especially Common English, because Myanmar was taken over was a British colony after World War II. Before they gave it the military, they gave it back to Myanmar, and from that point on, the military has turned it into a dictatorship. But
you can read.
They have a lot of.
Sorry,
go ahead.
You can read sheet music, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I've heard a lot of people before, who wants to do that anymore? Who wants to do that
anymore? Give me tab.
Who wants it? But I think it's cool that you guys do that, and that is still something that is taught, and that is something that is known. I think that's great.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and it really does help us, be able to work what we do. And during composition, we like to think of ourselves as composers, and each of our parts have their own little musical nuances that we appreciate, and hopefully that the listener does also.
Tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
You can check us out at losingseptember.com, or just Google search Losing September. You'll find all kinds of cool, crazy knowledge about us.
That's Bruce Fane of Losing September. Brother, thank you so much for joining us for the Banger Music Award fundraiser. This has just been an honor, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. It's an honor for us.